So we wanted to come down today to really network and build brand awareness. It's actually been a really amazing event. We've had some wonderful conversations with investors, investment landlords or owner-occupiers about their future investments into the region, into the market. Some of them have experience in investing and buying properties in Ghana, in the Accra and Leboni area, and some don't, and they want some knowledge. So yeah, it's been an amazing event.
Hello, lovely people. Tata Sen is representing live at the Property Expo and Lifestyle 2023. Simply because when you come here and get a property, remember what means are you going to use that to pay the money back home. Your only trusted partner, friend that you can use is Tata Sen.
Every year is different, but it gets better and better and better. We're here because basically MGK Foundation is, should I say, Expo on Point Property. We are the social responsibility of this organization, so that's the reason why they've invited us here year in and year out. That's the way of them helping what we do within the community. So this is number 7 and we're counting.
The main purpose of being here is to introduce Ghana to the world, introduce all the beautiful tour locations we have. We're doing tour packages, doing all sorts of tour packages, ecotourism, leisure tours, educational tours, do the packages, and we do everything within the tour package, which includes your hotel rooms, vehicle transportation, tour guides, and to the locations as well. When you go to the locations, we have our hotels there as well. So it's a complete package we are here to give to our clients.
The Expo is great. Every opportunity to be able to talk to more people within the market is great. We've got some really potential folks that have come around. We are normally, what I do is I always leverage the Expo to do other contacts. So we've been here for a week and we've already met other Ghanaian communities all the way leading to the Expo. So this is like a climax for us. But we've done a lot of the groundwork and we are happy to end it this way.
Welcome to the 7th edition of the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo. This year we call it Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo 2023. Can we give a round of applause to that? If it was a baby, it will be 7 years today. And the 7-year-olds ask the most questions. Don't ever think that a 7-year-old is notorious. They are curious. And with curious minds and business-minded people here in the room, we are going to ask the questions. We are going to get the answers because the people who are going to provide the answers are as patient as a mother, as patient as a class 1 teacher back in Ghana. Okay, I won't tell you that story yet. My name is Owusu Frimpong, Kweku Owusu Frimpong, and I'm honored to be asked to moderate this year's event together with my lovely Amake Abebrese. Oh, come on. I thought you were going to appreciate her. Please put your hands together for me.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today my voice caught a frog, so I'm just here to look cute and just look at my outfit. But no. We're here for, of course, to make sure we're getting all the industry experts, and Kweku's here to, make sure we get all our questions answered and get all the information.
Once again, welcome to the event. Once again, I want to say thank you so very much for your time and patience. And listen, it's going to be more interactive than all the previous years. We're not going to have people talking to you all the time, but you also have the chance to ask the experts the questions. Back in the day, people had their hands burnt. There are doubts about property in Ghana. But with On Point, we have had those doubts cleared. And we'll continue to grow in confidence in the sense that we will have every question that you have answered. There are experts from the legal field. There are experts from the development side of things. There are experts from the finance side of things. There are experts from the marketing point. And there are experts from the management of the property you acquire in Ghana especially. So if you are here this afternoon, I would say you are as privileged as we are because we are part of a good team. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo 2023. Hooray! Put your hands together once again. And we are doing that because two ladies have decided to put their expertise, their experience at our disposal. And I would want to bring them forward and ask them to say a word or two to welcome us. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna and Victoria Ajikum, co-founders of On Point Property Services Limited. These ladies last week were on CNN and they sold Africa, they sold Ghana. And they are going to sell you as well. For all the good reasons. Once again, with a round of applause, Anna and Vicky.
Well, a warm welcome to you all. How amazing that you all made it through today. My name is Anna Ajikum, one of the co-founders of On Point Property Management Limited and the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo. This year's theme is called Investing Safely in Ghana. And we've repeated this theme because it's not going away. There are critical things that need to be answered, that needs to be clear. And for us, it was a call to action. We cannot have people not having a positive experience investing in Ghana. So what you have today in the room, many of our developers have been coming year in, year out, including our lead sponsor, Goldkey Properties, VAAL Real Estate, and Clifton Homes, who you will hear from. But all the other exhibitors and developers in the room are demonstrating to you that we have a regulated and established real estate sector in Ghana. But the key point is signposting you to the right people. So this is what we want to achieve to you today. So please make use of today and tomorrow. We're here from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. We may stay a bit later today because of the traffic. But do make yours. This is your resource tool to make sure that when you invest in Ghana, it's done the right way. So please, once again, thank you very much for coming today. Enjoy the seminar section and talk to each and every one here. Victoria and I are here. Please feel free to pop up to us and say something. We're really friendly. And there's tea and coffee also outside for you, so it's at your disposal to keep warm. I'll hand you over to Victoria.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, hello, I'm Victoria, and I'm also one of the co-founders of On Point Property Management and the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo. Thank you again for your dedication to fight through London today. It just shows that you are keen and you're ready to buy, so that's a determination to all of the developers that are here. So again, a round of applause to yourselves for coming. Just to resonate what Anna just said, you know, these developers that have flown in from Ghana are here and dedicated to serve you, to sell their quality property portfolio to you. So please utilize the time here today and tomorrow. And again, you know, you can get a good deal by speaking to each and one of them. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Goldkey Properties, VAAL Real Estate, and Clifton Homes. Thank you.
And also, just wanted to finally say that we actually have a special treat. Obviously, you will introduce in due course. We have representation from the Ghana Bar Association, literally flown in this morning to be here. Please have your pen and papers ready and your questions. So we've got a really insightful afternoon for you all. So thank you.
So I'll start off with Goldkey Properties. Do have your representation here. So please come for a brief moment, give us a word.
Ghana's real estate industry is thriving. a reflection of the growth the nation as a whole is experiencing. Goldkey is part of this story. We have a unique opportunity to introduce world-class standards of luxury to the real estate market in Ghana. From pristine residential projects to high-rise commercial buildings, Goldkey is changing across landscape. The past decade has seen an amazing journey as we have the structures in place to engineer an even more glorious future.
Goldkey is basically, no shade to anybody here, Ghana's leading real estate developer. I mean, they can challenge me in my booth, they can come, but we've been in the business for 26 years, and we are into residential, commercial, and mixed-use developments. We have developed an area in excess of 200,000 square meters. In terms of residential, I'd say over 200 different units in terms of townhouses and apartments in prime areas across Accra. So we're talking about airport, residential, cantonments, and ridge. But we're also diversifying our portfolio to enter Chado and other areas. In terms of commercial, we've developed what we call Cantonment City. It's a mixed-use development, but has a lot of commercial buildings in there. So I don't know how many of you know Cantonments area very well. Close to Osu. Yeah, so basically we have developed a mixed-use facility. So you have a mix of residential, commercial, and retail. For the commercial, we have anchor tenants like EY, PwC, VAAL, which has a Shell license, and other high-profile multinational tenants. How does this translate to both businesses? Because I know majority of you came here for residential, but in terms of having a mixed portfolio of clients means your building will always be full, especially for those buying for investment purposes. So currently, for commercial, we are about 95% in terms of occupancy, and for residential, 90%. The other 10% is usually people that want to do short lets. So they want the units empty at a point for them, which is usually, we can accommodate that as well. But basically, in a nutshell, this is Goldkey. Like I said, the leading real estate developer in the country. You can ask other questions for me to explain where we are, and I would gladly answer, but in a nutshell, this is who we are. Thank you.
Thank you. And for that, you take your seat on the panel desk for me. Thank you very much. VAAL Real Estates. VAAL.
Thank you very much. My name is Nazir. I am the sales manager for VAAL Real Estate. VAAL Real Estate is a luxury developer, and we started in Ghana in 2022 when we launched our first project, Harmonia Residence. We also launched Harmonia Villas. We do mixed-use complex, which is our Harmonia Residence, and it's going to be completed in 2025. If you've been walking around, you can see that we have construction updates for you. We do that every month on YouTube. We send them out to all our clients, and we upload them online. VAAL, we also did the Harmonia Villas. Harmonia Villas was scheduled to complete in 2024. We're proud that we're actually 8 months ahead of schedule, and we're handing over this month. Thank you. Hopefully we can do that with Harmonia Residence as well. It's very, to us developers, like my colleague Efia said, it's very important for us with showing credibility for yourselves as clients. So when we go into a project at VAAL, we make sure we've done all the due diligence on the land, or we don't even go into that project and start selling it. We've done that with Harmonia Residence and Villas, and this month we're also, if you're in Ghana on the 24th of November, do let me know. We have the stand right in the center of the stage. Do let me know, because on the 24th of November, we will be launching 2 more projects, another high-rise and another villas project. Thank you. VAAL, last one. VAAL, our head office is in Turkey, just for us to know who you're dealing with. We're an Egyptian Turkish-owned company. Head office is in Turkey, and we have a branch in Kenya and Ghana, and we're now launching in Uganda as well. So that's for VAAL Real Estate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, VAAL Real Estate. So, Yabene of Partners would please come up and give us a brief remarks before he joins us. Ultimate Gardens. Ultimo Gardens. So which is which? Ultimo, ultimate? Ultimo.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
It actually translates to ultimate. So, thank you. We are an indigenous Ghanaian developer. We've been in business since 2007. We have a mixed portfolio. If you have said they are the leading developers in Ghana and gave us the square meterage and the number of properties that they've done. So that's quantity, and nobody can argue with that. But when it comes to quality, I think we're the leaders. Our residential Ultimo Gardens is the only residential development in Ghana that I'm aware of that's been certified sustainable green under the IFC's EDGE program. So you've got solar, all the things that actually our properties are rated to use 40% less energy than comparable properties. We are also diversified in terms of location. So Ultimo Gardens is in Airport residential area, but we've got 59 Lagos Avenue, which, if you know Accra, the name Lagos Avenue, that's in East Legon. And we've also, through a sister company, we do affordable properties as well. Harvey Village, building a beautiful, green, sustainable community in OEB at very affordable prices. So what can I say? That's it. We focus on delivering quality. That's what we do. Thank you.
We are going to get into our interactions now. This year, what we're trying to do is to make sure that we answer as many of your questions as possible. But what are some of the challenges you have faced in your world? Developing your properties, selling, making sure everything is in place. What are some of the challenges?
There are many. Just that it's an important job, so we try and do it. The first is land. getting good land without litigation, and also land that is serviced. Because there are two things. If you get land way outside of Accra, where you can get, large tracts and to do what you want to do, because the land is not serviced, you have to put in all the infrastructure. And the cost of infrastructure is very expensive, and so it makes it difficult to deliver at the low end of the market. And that's why most people focus on the prime areas, because if you're developing an airport, you don't need to put in roads. The roads are there. Bulk infrastructure, all of it, right? And so getting good land, and land that's also secure in terms of title, that is a challenge. The second thing is just the sheer number of taxes that you need to deal with as a developer. And because of that, when, let's say, you import anything for your development, it may cost £1 here. And remember, the developer here in London is buying that same item at £1. But by the time you get it to Ghana, because of all the multiplication of taxes, you get it from the port cleared in excess of £2, more than twice the price. And so people say, hey, on a per square meter basis, properties in Ghana are expensive. But that's because we're dealing with so many taxes. And related to that is availability of financing and the cost of finance. I was saying to a couple of friends this morning that even the government borrows at around 10% on the dollar, right? If we were to borrow for any project, if the money is even available, it will be around 15, 16% on the dollar. But the comparable developer here is borrowing at 3%. So if I came to you, Owusu, and I said, I can't borrow from the bank, so give me money to go and do the development. If you know that debt will cost me at 15, 16%, how much would you give me that money for? Especially if it's equity and you have naked risk in the project. You would ask for 20, 25%.
Having appreciated the second challenge, let me go to Goldkey and find out. You've been working for 25 years. How have you managed that?
Let me put everything he said into perspective. So he spoke about land being so basically, can I summarize everything he said in terms of how good he handles it? Is that okay? Okay, so the first thing was his land. Unlike Goldkey that builds in prime areas, because of what you build, infrastructure is a huge, you have to have the road infrastructure put in place and all of that, correct?
I'm just saying availability of land is a problem.
As a problem, as a challenge. Okay, great. So when it comes to land, like he said, building in areas further away means you have to put all the infrastructure in place. Even in cantonments, for our project called Cantonment City, we had to develop that Morning Star stretch. It was for people that know that road very well, it was a very narrow road. And you would think for cantonments to be like the nice bridge of the UK, it should have the infrastructure put in place. We had to put a huge amount of funds to make that road like the first-class road it is today. So we still face infrastructure challenges. I mean, this is Ghana we're talking about. So we had to make sure we got the road right. More or less, it helps the properties we put there to appreciate over time. So, I mean, with land, when we talk about land commission and the title, is a huge challenge for us as well. But what we do with Goldkey is, in addition to being the leading real estate developer in the country, we have the largest land bank in all these prime areas, in excess of, I don't want my MD to, no, but we have in excess of over 20 acres in these prime areas, which at this time is very difficult for a lot of developers to have. With that, what that means is that, and I think one challenge that has to do with land is zoning. You put a beautiful residential property, and then someone puts something that just devalues it. So basically, you don't have that beautiful stretch of beautiful row houses or beautiful apartments, but you see a beautiful apartment and then there's some kiosk. So those who know MTN, mobile money, like that just devalues the entire property. So with Goldkey, what we do is we try to get as much property. So let's say if we're going into a particular area, we try as much as possible to see if we can get the entire stretch. So if it's 10 acres of land, which is difficult in these prime areas, we try to secure them. So what that means is we have control over that entire enclave to make sure the infrastructure is right. We have the right apartments, a mix of good retail and commercial. So once you come out of your property, your view is more having other apartments or commercial buildings or things that make it easy for you to live within that community. So that's with land. With the tax issues, what we do is, from a finance perspective, maybe the finance gurus have, forgive me, I'm marketing and sales, so that might not be my forte, but what I know helps us with the tax breaks is that we try to source locally as much as possible. So the duty that comes with some items is hard for us to get it locally. But for the ones we can, we try as much as possible to avoid the high taxes on them. Secondly, we have a relationship to get, so currently Goldkey is, my MD is sitting somewhere there, she should correct me if I'm wrong. We have some exemptions based on, guys, with the taxes part, is not my forte, but I don't know what to say.
Let me find out quickly.
Okay.
Do you get these exemptions because of your size, because of your experience, or you are taking advantage of economies of scale?
All of the above. All of the above. So we have some exemptions, yes.
Let me look at VAAL. VAAL, you are a Turkish-based organization, so obviously most of the stuff, people may go out of Ghana to import these things into the country. That's from your country, for instance. Is there anything you're doing differently that gets you to overcome the challenge of finance costs, land issues, and the rest of it?
Thank you. Concerning materials, we try and source as much as we can locally for what we can, and most of our workforce is the local Guinean market. All right, most of our workforce is the local Guinean market, and we try to improve on that basis. And when it comes to knowledge, try and transfer that knowledge and improve on that. And then when it comes to import and export, because of the type of apartments we do and the quantity that we import at, obviously we try and get good deals when we're doing the supplies. And when it comes to the finance side, we are selling off plan. That's our main market. So we give very good prices because we're selling off plan, and instead of waiting for the building to complete. So as we stand right now, Harmonia Residence is almost 2 years from launch, and we have 1.5 years, actually half. It was launched 1.5 years ago, and we have 1.5 years left for construction. And we're proudly that we're 90% sold out on Harmonia Residence. So this allows us to actually put the prices at low prices of our apartments and get the supplies early in. So when it comes to finance, we're not looking at 10% and 15% for banks. We don't. Our financial model does not go to the banks for that. We rely on our homeowners to provide the funds for our buildings, and at the same time, that's why we can give cheap prices.
Before I go into the audience, for all three of you, is there, for the properties you have developed, what is the relationship between value and cost? Because we all talk about affordability, and that's real relative. But what do you give as an assurance that links that value to the cost? So if I'm buying a property for, say, $100,000, I know that there's real value in it, and I can get some equity in that in a few number of years. I'll start with you, Val.
Okay, I was going to say ladies first, but
you are in the middle.
Thank you. Concerning value, in our contract, in our SBA contract, we commit to top branded items when it comes to your fitting of your apartments. We only deal with top brand items and high quality items. And we showcase that from our previous projects. So if some customers from Kenya have come into Ghana, bought property in Ghana, and vice versa, because they know the quality that we're coming out with. And concerning value, where it equates to, you said apart from value, there was a second thing.
Value and the cost. Do they correlate, really?
Absolutely. Per square meter, we're one of the lowest in the market, considering the product that we deliver.
Okay. I'll go to Ultimo Gardens. MM?
So cost is quantitative. You can always tell by numbers. Something that costs 50,000 is cheaper than another thing that costs 70,000. Value, you need to understand what you're doing. Value in real estate we find is driven by a number of factors, but there are three main factors. One is location. That's critical in real estate. And the other is the aesthetics of what you're doing, right? So the design and the layout and how it looks and how it speaks to the buyer emotionally. And then the third is the quality, the physical quality of what you're building. You have to make sure that you're building. A lot of people in Ghana who don't use professional help, they build and they have issues with damp along the wall. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that. You need to prevent that. You need to be aware of your water table. You need to make sure there are no cracks. You use high quality materials, as VAAL said, so that the building stands the test of time and it works. So for us, we have certain operational definitions for quality. One is that a door, for instance, a good door is not necessarily the most expensive door. What's a door supposed to do? Keep you safe, and when you close it, it should close. When you open, it opens. You don't need to use a lot of strength to, all of that. So it's location, it's the design, and it's the physical quality of what you're building. Those are the three main factors.
And when you have those on the high side, you don't think about the numbers, the cost, because you've got value.
Yes, so $1 million property may offer more value than a $100,000 property, depending on what's gone into it. So value is a relative and somewhat subjective judgment.
Goldkey, let's get your perspective on this one.
Okay. So we're talking value to the client as opposed to cost. And I think as a buyer, I put myself into anyone's shoes. If I'm trying to buy a property, there's certain things I'll look out for. And it's good he mentioned location is key. But apart from location, if you're buying for investment purposes, what's the value? Are you going to get a tenant? Would you be able to, is this a property in a good location that could give you the yields you're looking for? All these things come into mind and come into the costing part of it. Why should I buy a property for 100,000 in Cantonments, which is a studio, as opposed to 100,000 townhouse, which is further away? Which usually some developers will say is 20 minutes from the airport. This is without traffic. Once there's traffic, trust me, East Legon to even airports can be, sometimes it's not 20 minutes. And it's supposed to be, bordering towns, if we should call that. So there's certain things you look at in terms of value and costing. One of them would be location. The second would be, if I should get this property, do I get a ready tenant? Do I get the use I'm looking for? Do I get is my payback period within 10 years, or would that be doubled? Would I have to resell at a lower cost to just, sort of go away or step out? So that's things I would look at in comparing value to cost. The second thing is, if it's a renowned developer, are you going to get the property management you need for your property to look like, we just built it in, maybe last year, in 5 years. In 10 years, does your property look so bad that people have to actually pull out, resell the property? Property management is basically non-existent in Ghana. You realize some properties built even 5 years ago already ran down. So you have to put into perspective, does this developer, is it going to be one where we as buyers come together to have our own property management arm, or do they have a property management arm that can? So everything I'm saying, Goldkey does. So you see, the leader real estate developer, everything I say, just put that into perspective. So we have a property management arm that will handle that. They also handle leasing for you as well. So value, costing, I mean, all these things come into play.
It's relative, I guess.
Yes.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, these are the panelists for the first segment of the discussion. If you have any questions, this is the time. And we'll have the microphone come around. Yes. Quickly, your name, and you put your question to them.
Bear with me, I'm not a public speaker. I may stumble a bit. This question goes to, what's your name again?
Ifwa.
Ifwa. In acquiring land, do the locals sometimes lose their property because you want to acquire a stretch of land? What do you do if there are existent like shacks in the area?
Okay, so what usually happens is we don't take land that belongs to people. We go into joint venture partnerships. So we'll be dealing with an entity. So it wouldn't be individuals per se. So with those land that we take, maybe 10 acres, we're not sort of, let's say, letting Mr. Owusu leave his property because we want to purchase it. We're not dealing with individuals. So we're not dealing with Mr. Owusu, Mr. Pia, Mr. So. No, we're dealing with one entity that owns that particular land. I don't know if that answers your question. So then it means we're not dealing with multiple people. No. We have joint ventures where, depending on the location, we deal with one individual for the property just in that location, which is already developed. I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, it's halfway.
Halfway, okay.
Because in Ghana, normally, you don't have a whole stretch of land belonging to one person. People who built houses in the past, they are individual owners. So do you find an agent to deal with them, or?
Yeah, so we have agents. So what happens is there are lands that don't belong to individuals, but certain entities within certain entities or companies. So there are lands that could belong to Mr. Wusu, 5 acres, that belongs to Mr. Wusu. Then we acquire that land, and then you have Mr. Pia, who's a neighbor, come to us say, oh, we've seen what you've done with Mr. Wusu JV. I'm interested in doing the same. So that we can do 2 people, but not to deal with multiple, maybe 10, no. Yeah.
So, Madam, just to help you for a bit, in the past, a lot of institutions, both public and private, owned a lot of property in Ghana. And back then, the properties were demarcated in much larger sizes, much larger acreage. So you may find, let's say, an insurance company that on a stretch owns 2, 3, 4 properties, and each one is an acre. But then that insurance company now wants to monetize that property because unlike the past where they would give maybe all the top managers a place to live, they no longer want to do so. So they say, okay, we've got 4 properties. That put together is 4 acres. Let's find a developer that has the capacity to develop it, and we take some of the properties and then the developer also. So that's the sort of strategy that not just Goldkey, quite a few developers use.
Well, thank you. But my second, subsequent to your answer, I've got another question. Have any local people lost their properties or been forced out whilst you're doing that?
That is a very broad question, which will be true in some instances, but also avoided in many, many other instances. So it's not something that we can just answer yes or no to. Now, for myself, no, we've not done anything where local people have lost their land. And I do know Goldkey quite well, so even though Ifwa is right here, I'm confident enough to answer on her behalf as well and say no.
Thank you anyway. Thank you very much.
No.
Well, any question? Yeah, we're going over there. I'll come quickly over to you. Can I get some space around here? Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Okay, so my question has to do with the future. You know, looking at Accra, these prime locations you guys mentioned, most often it rains and Accra is getting flooded. Now I want to find out from you guys, what's the guarantee that we purchasing houses from you guys are going to save us from future floods? Looking at current situations, it rains and most places in Accra are getting flooded.
Val, we want to try that?
Okay, I'll go for that one. As much as we would like to, okay, let me take this in a different way. When you're constructing, we can only construct our lands. So whether it's Goldkey, VAAL, or Ultimo, we're constructing our lands, right? So it's what the developer is doing to prevent floods in that area. Now, having said that, depending on the type of, let's say, rain you're getting, right? If it's going to flood across the whole town, whatever you do to your land, it's going to get flooded, depending where you are in Accra. I mean, we can't restructure the whole Accra using one piece of land. It just doesn't work. However, now let's go to where we're actually doing work. Our Harmonia residence, for example, before we dug 15 meters into the ground, we actually put 10 boreholes, okay, and went 25 meters under, actually 27 to be exact, and drained out all the water. And before we started the structure, we did waterproofing across the whole building. As my colleague Ultimo said, we do the waterproofing to prevent the dampness from occurring. So that way you know your structure is safe, your structure is warm, it's dry, and it lasts that longevity that you want. And even after the construction, those pumps are going to remain in place, and they're all automatic on our project. So as soon as the water reaches a certain level, pumps kick in and drag the water out, right? So this obviously, in case, God forbid, there's any flooding, obviously the water in our area would get thrown out as soon as possible. And that's what we can do to prevent that. But to prevent, let's say, the whole area, it's really down to the government to assist with this. And then also each developer in their project to do their job the right way. Some developers or some builders, let me put it that way, might not do a good job. That's where you need to do your homework, and then you need to ask the developers the right questions. Okay, thank you.
And I can assure you that all the ones that are here displaying their properties are trusted. So you can put them to the test, and you know they'll deliver, won't you? Any question? Any more question? Yes, sir.
A question for Partners. You say your buildings are sustainable. What benefit does the customer get from that? If you're using, let's say, solar energy, does the grid, or shall I say the customer, get a discount from the electricity? And also, questions to the other two on the panel. Are you thinking about investing in sustainability? Well, again, if you are, again, what benefit does the customer get from you? Because your 40% discount, or shall I say reduction in energy for the customer, is a good thing, and people might be interested.
So I come from a background of investment banking and consulting on infrastructure projects. A lot of builders, when they talk about cost, whether to themselves or to the buyer, are only talking about the upfront cost. We look at what we call the lifetime cost of the property. And that includes the cost to you when you are living in it. So, for instance, in Ghana, the cost of electricity is high and it keeps going up all the time. Okay, so I give you solar, and solar does two things. There's the green credentials of it, but it also reduces your dependence on the grid. And if you're not depending on the grid as much, you're saving money. Okay, and that's in addition to ensuring availability, to be sure that whenever you need power, you have power, you're not sleeping in darkness. Okay, so the benefit to you is that you have power when you need it, and it reduces the cost. And that's just electricity, right? There's also water, managing your use of water, okay, and making sure that a lot of the time, you know, you're in the shower, and both the size of the shower head and the pressure means that you're using more water than you need. But it needs to be engineered to be sure that you're getting all the water you need but not really wasting it, which again translates to lower cost of water. So there are real benefits to you, which is in the lowered cost of occupancy. That's how we see it. It's a core part of our business strategy.
Well, Goldkey says you do that already. And how much?
I thought about answer before me, actually. Okay.
No, he posed the question to all three of you. So how much savings do you assure that people have when they buy from you?
Okay, let me start with the introduction to the question. He mentioned the only residential certified edge. He should do his research. You should go on our website. We are the edge champions.
No, that's why you're here.
Yes, we are the edge. You see, he said he's the only residential. We are the edge champions in the country.
If I were him, I would say so again.
Yes, we are the edge. Goldkey Properties, the only developer that's edge champ. Edge. We are edge champions in the country. So our, Cantonment City Development, all our commercial development in there. We have PwC, which is edge certified, as well as EY. We have Cantonment City. Very soon, the entire enclave would be edge certified. So, but Cantonment City Tower is residential. Please look. He should go check the website. But yes, so he mentioned the key elements, which for
can you break it down?
Hey.
Edge certified.
What is EDGE certified?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, the EDGE certification is an initiative by IFC, World Bank, for sustainability, green building. So what they do is,
So it's a standard measure.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So M&M, congratulations for joining Goldkey on that front. I'm sure VAAL and the rest will join soon. It's a good initiative.
I think VAAL does that already, don't you?
Sorry?
They're asking
if you provide sustainability and the benefits.
At the moment, at Harmonia Residence, I know we have solar panels that are going to be on our roof, and it's going to obviously impact the residents and the residential, the homeowners, of course. And it's something that we're looking into concerning all our future developments. But at Harmonia Residence specifically, I know that we've looked at sustainability, and we have panels on the roof,
Yeah, I think with time probably we will be asking that for any property we want to develop, it has to be in that sustainability arena. Other than that, we're not buying. Yes.
The reason for the question is service charges. For lighting your communal staircases and other areas within your development, that solar system should actually feed into your normal supply, whereas the residents will have the benefit of not paying for lighting the communal staircases or any communal areas. And
Absolutely.
that's why.
Yes. So with Goldkey, let me go first with this one. With Harmonia Residence and VAAL, we don't commit to our service charge while we're doing the project. The reason is the market in Ghana currently is $3 to $4 a square meter. Our commitment is we will either match it or beat it, all right, but not charge more. And the reason why we don't commit to service charge at the moment is, as you just said, we don't even know how much it's going to cost the building, all right, or the project. So we wait until the end of the project when we run the utilities, we run the lighting in the communal area, the services, and then we cost that, and then we then put that towards the homeowners. So as of now, we don't even charge for the service charge or ask the home buyer to commit themselves to the service charge. Okay.
Well, any more questions for the developers? Any more questions? You have one. Okay. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for the last one. Yeah.
I don't want to be greedy, but...
No, go on.
Okay. You're talking a lot about maintenance. Do you sell any freehold properties at all?
Sorry, did you say, do we sell any freehold?
Yeah, freehold properties where you pay nothing for anyone to maintain it for you. Freehold, you buy the land belongs to the property owner, so he or she takes care of everything.
No, at the moment, no. What VAAL does is, like my colleague Evo said, we go into a joint venture with the homeowner where we build the property, we build the project, and then give them a share of that project based on the value of the land.
Okay. There's a name for it here, I can't remember. So that's what?
Joint venture in Ghana.
Not freehold. Freehold, and what else do we buy here? Leasehold. So everything that you sell is leasehold.
Yes, in Ghana, and it's not, it's not what we sell. It's, again, it goes back to Ghana. Ghana, 90% of the land is, if I'm not wrong, please correct me, is leasehold. Okay, so it's not something that we're doing. It's the government who has said this land is leasehold, it's the law. And thank you.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so 90% of the land is the freehold.
In Ghana.
The 10% that's freehold is actually way out of Accra, if not the region.
Right, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, we're rounding up, so I'll give each of the property developers a minute to round up, and I know Ifwa is going to sell Goldkey very well. So I'll give you each a minute to round up for us.
No. Ladies first. The leading property.
Okay, ladies first.
For now.
I will agree.
The leading property developer for now.
Ladies first. I will agree. So a minute.
Then I have to have the last final words.
If you come back, just give us this one.
Okay. So as I mentioned, please come to booth 20 and 5, Goldkey Properties, to speak to the leading real estate developers. Even if you're not prepared to buy from us now, just come for advice. Let us help you with your property journey. Understand, buying property is not easy. It takes time, it takes a lot of research. I know the gentleman at the back spoke about flooding. So with the flooding, I wanted to add on to that. When you do research, you know the areas. Some properties, some developers will buy cheap land. They know very well it's flood prone. They know they're building on a river. But for them, they're selling everything and moving out. So to them, they do not care. So the research is very important. They know very well. But by the time you call him, he sold it to you, he's moved out. So it's your problem to handle. So doing research is very important, because honestly, with marketing and sales, we can sell you a dream that doesn't exist. Oh, not me, not Goldkey though. But we literally would say anything, but just make sure you've also done your research and you know what you're getting yourself into. You know the credentials of the developer, how long they take to finish a property, because you put your money into it and 5, 6, 7 years, it's not ready. You can't get your money back. So imagine in 2020, if the dollar was 5 cedis and you purchase, you put money into it. Okay. They'll come back to me, so I have to be brief. But basically, I'm talking a lot here. Just come to me for advice. Let's just talk, and let's just go through the whole journey. If you're looking for property to rent over the holidays coming December, I'll give you a very good discount. You live in the heart of cantonments, so come to me as well. Then I'll say something else when they come back to me for final words.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Val.
Final words. I would like to say that apart from Goldkey, right? After you visit them, you come to VAAL. Okay. Before we go into any of our lands and into our JVs, right? We show you the documents. It's something we wouldn't even go into a property or a project without doing the right due diligence. We have all the EPA certificates, the building permits that are there for you to view, to do your due diligence. And at VAAL, we always tell our clients, please, when you're coming to us, come with your lawyer. It's good. We've gone, personally speaking, I've gone through over 100 lawyers, okay, with my team as well. So do come with your lawyer, because they know the right questions to ask. We're there, we will assist. We will never sell you a dream or a fantasy. The facts and figures are there. We will show them to you, and then you make the right choice that you want. And just a small differentiation as well. At VAAL, you get your dedicated account manager who manages your property, your portfolio, and gives you updates on your building. And in the diaspora, this is very important for us, for our diaspora clients, because they can't come to Ghana every now and then, depending on what they're doing. At VAAL, we send a monthly report, a monthly video. It's even online on YouTube, and it's clockwork. So if on the 3rd of the month you don't even see that video there, give me a call, because it's there every 1st of the month. And it gives you the monthly report with our engineer on site for that project on what they've done for that month and what they hope to do or what they plan to do for the next month. And when the next month comes out, you can review it yourself and then give us your feedback. And yeah, and that's basically VAAL Real Estate for you.
All right, and finally,
So I love transparency, so I would say, yes, do visit Goldkey first, after go to VAAL, and save the best for last, and come visit us. Ultimo Gardens, we are about 4 weeks away from completion. So all the images that you see are not renderings, they are actual pictures. Even the image of the Tesla. We actually bought a Model 3 Tesla just to prove to people that when we say EV charging, we mean EV charging. And I can guarantee you, Victoria, Anna, and Amma here have seen it. And they visited us a few times. And the way Victoria nods, she's confirming we've got the best property. So, and the other thing we do that is different from those who are aggressively marketing is that we never sell all our properties. We always reserve some for ourselves into our portfolio. So we see our customers as partners, because when you buy from us, we are right there with you. If we don't build good property, we will suffer it together, and I'll be available to you. And also, whoever buys from us, me, the founder of the business, the CEO, I am your relationship manager.
Ladies and gentlemen, what more can you ask for? Put your hands together for these wonderful individuals.
Thank you.
Goldkey, VAAL, and MM. A bigger round of applause,
Yes,
please.
please.
Thank you very much.